social action ante enti? See, when we are talking about sociological concepts, Durkheim understood social facts. Weber understood social action. People act depending on their situation. In every society, whether it is a complex society or a simple society, interpretative sociology, phenomenology, ethnomethodology, that is our subject matter. Dear students, yes. Today we are going to have some brief overview regarding sociology orientation, right? So when we are talking about this optional subject sociology, I hope that you have covered your classes, completed, or still you are doing? Completed. Okay, you are still okay, fine, but you have started unit 1 and all those things you are doing on your own pace. So when we analyze the question papers in recent times with respect to sociology optional, what is a major change which is happening? Did you observe any change which is happening maybe from the last 2 to 3 years? Yeah, that's what. More questions they are asking from chapter 1 to 3. We'll see how they are doing all these things, all these dimensions we'll try to understand today. Now, the most important aspect before entering or any, please, attempting any answer is some of the mistakes we'll try to analyze with the answers written by the students. Just now, when I came into the class, I gave you a small topic to you. What is the difference between social fact, social action and social system? That's what I gave the question. You can also think about it. Difference between social fact, social action and social system. Online students also, you can type the message also, brief message. What is the difference between social fact, social action and social system? Try to work on that. Give a minute. Directly we are asking from the syllabus. Social fact, social action and social system. Online students also, they can also type the messages if they want to share their answers. Yeah. Cheppandi. What is your understanding on these things? Fact, action, system. Fact will have you are talking about, fact will have an empirical evidence. Okay. Acha, you are talking about group here. Okay. It leads to social action. Oh my God. You are talking about emotions. Just like you are talking about Nepal issue. You are referring to Nepal issue. Emotional young man. Then what is social system? What is social system then? Just briefly. Yeah. Acha, again you are telling group of people interconnected with each other. That's what you are understanding. See, when we are, any other answers apart from this? Any other answers apart from this you'd like to participate? They are external to individual. Okay. Acting, thinking. See, thinking happens within us. How thinking is external? Fine, but I think within myself. What I think may be influenced from outside influences. But ultimately who will think? Myself as an individual will think. Fine. That is his understanding. That's what we are missing. But you use the word thinking. To counter that, I am just discussing with you. Thinking is internal. How that is an external influence? Okay, fine. Then what is social action? Action. It's okay, you can explain. Action ante enti? Social action ante enti? Your friend gave this definition, group of people driven by emotions and that may influence their behavior. Okay. Then see, when we are talking about sociological concepts, most of the students who take sociology, generally when they are talking about sociology, most of them, these are the direct syllabus things. These are not something which is there, which has to be understood separately. These are the topics which are given in the syllabus. I think there is an issue with the sharing mechanism here. These are the topics given for us directly with respect to each of the thinker. When we are talking about social fact, Durkheim understood social facts as the subject matter of sociology. Weber understood social action as the subject matter of sociology. Parsons understood social system as the subject matter of sociology. Each of the thinker who came, they are telling what is the subject matter of sociology. Same sociology. What sociology should focus upon studying. Each of the three thinkers are saying some different keywords. Now when we are talking about social fact, we have to understand that social fact is about positivism. Studying society just like, so when we are talking about social fact here, he is saying that we have to study sociology just like natural sciences. If you observe, natural sciences ante physics, chemistry, mathematics, what we are trying to. For a physics, how the apple falls. Newton said that apple has fallen. Or you are exerting this much force on this bottle. Whether you exert or whether Aishwarya Rai exerts, what this bottle feels, do you consider? No. In the force, if you apply this much of force, the bottle will go in this direction. So irrespective of meanings and motives, Durkheim says that we have to study society with respect to social facts which does not care about meanings and motives. People act depending on their situation. For example, in India, most of the women, they will not drive bullet. Why? Can't women drive bullet? They can drive. But the social conditions restrict them. A woman driving a bullet geared vehicle, everybody will see. So she herself, most of them will not think of driving a bullet. We are affected by our social conditions which are external to us. What are your feelings, what are your meanings, doesn't care. Every society has such social facts. Irrespective of an individual, whether an individual stays, whether that individual do not stay, everywhere you have what? Social facts. For example, in the context of India, caste is a social fact. Whether you like it or not, after you or before you, things are changing, but caste system survives. Not only that, in the context of religion, in every society, whether it is a complex society or a simple society, you have religion affecting us. Similarly, every society will have what? Crime. Go to rich society, New York, you have what? Crime. You go to some tribal society, there also you have crime. So these things are present in the society. Poverty is present in the society. Unemployment is present in the society. So he is only talking about external phenomena. He is not talking about individual meanings, motives, avasram ledhu. That is the meaning of what? Social fact. Then comes the concept of what? Social action. Here, completely different dimension Weber says. He says that, we are not like things. We are not like objects. Human beings have what? Meanings, motives. They act accordingly. Right? Behavior is dependent on what meanings you give. For example, online students who are entering. Offline you are sitting and observing. Online students will come. Immediately they will decide. Class started or not started. They will go away. They will give their own meanings. If nothing is working there, if there is 2 minutes delay, they will go away. Some will stay patiently. They give their own meanings. Start avaledu. Offline lo, you give different meanings. Not only that, when we are talking about, suppose in this classroom, I scolded you, let's say. In the class is happening, I scolded you in front of, I asked some questions and I scolded you by saying that why you are not reading. Next day you are not coming to the class. Similarly, I scolded her, let's say. In another classroom, I asked questions to her. Then I asked her in front of everyone some questions. She didn't respond properly. Then I scolded her like anything. You are not reading. You are wasting time. You are useless. What is this? Like that I scolded. Same, input is same. But one boy stopped coming to the class. Another person became very serious. Why sir is focusing on me? It's about my exam. I am not preparing well. That's the reason he is asking. Definitely I have to read. The same lady starts reading after that. Because both of you gave very different meanings. Act is same. What is an act? With respect to when we are talking about this, same teacher has scolded this person, person A, then another person, person B. Scolds. Yes or no? Input is same. Teacher scolding A and scolding B. One student skips class after that, will not come to the class after that. Other students becomes very sincere after that. Why? They both of them gave different meanings to the same phenomena. Input okate, whereas output is completely different. So you have to consider those meanings. That is our subject matter. We human beings give meanings and we have motives. Why you are becoming an IAS officer? You have your own meanings and motives. So you have to study. That is our subject matter, which Weber calls it as what? Social action. Meaningful action oriented towards others. This gave, previously when we are talking about social fact resulted into, it is linked to what? Positivism. Whereas social action will result into which type of area? Non-positivism. Interpretative sociology, phenomenology, ethnomethodology, ఇవన్నీ వస్తాయి. సింబాలిక్ ఇంటరాక్షనిజం, అంత డెప్త్ ఉంది. దట్ ఈస్ అవర్ సబ్జెక్ట్ మ్యాటర్. Not only you. See, these are the basic keywords given in the syllabus. On those things itself, we don't have clarity. Point is not to explain one topic to you. The point of discussion is not to explain one particular topic to you. We are missing the core. We are missing how to understand the real topics which are given in our syllabus. Direct syllabus keywords. Not only you. Many students who completed classes also, if I ask this question, what is social action, social system, social fact, they will tell English meaning. Action is something which is oriented, like that they will try to elaborate. There's a lot of depth involved. It is indicating the subject, ఏం చదవాలి అని కూడా చెప్తుంది with respect to our sociology. Consider with respect to another dimensions. Let's say you have gone through the various aspects of the syllabus by now. If you are looking at terms like objectivity, what do you mean by objectivity? General ga try cheyandi. What is objectivity? Objectivity means what? Objectivity ante enti? Defined kaadu. Objectivity means just like studying society without taking consideration of your feelings. Core, scientific data, just like how physics studies, just like how chemist collects data. Objectivity means whether you like it or not, danto sambandham ledu. Without your individual bias, without having your impact of your beliefs on the research. Complete objectivity, just like positive science. Positive science ante enti? Positivism ante enti? Natural sciences. Just like natural sciences, how they observe phenomena. Objectivity means whether Newton conducts this research, whether Einstein conducts the same research, result should be same. That is the meaning of what? Objectivity. English meaning kaadu, technical, our sociological understanding. Whereas when we are talking about value freedom, what do you mean by value freedom then? What do you mean by value neutrality then? Try cheyandi. See, to give you a context, when we are studying caste has to be studied in a scientific manner. Sociology, scientific study of society. Caste has to be studied in a scientific manner antam. But can a sociologist be impacted without impact of his feelings and motives, can he study caste? Because after all, he is also human being. If you observe interpretation of caste in the context of Ambedkar and Gandhi, how did each of them talk about caste? Gandhi emannaru caste gurinchi? What did Gandhi talk about caste? Ambedkar always says that caste system has to be completely destroyed. Annihilation of caste annadu. Whereas Gandhi said, no, caste system cannot be destroyed, it has to be reformed. Untouchability undagodadu. Like that they have told. Fine. Both of their views are their own views. But if you observe, Ambedkar belongs to lower caste. He suffered lower caste discrimination. Obviously, will he support caste or will he destroy caste? He goes for destruction of caste. Whereas Gandhi, he belongs to upper caste or lower caste? Upper caste. Will he destroy caste or will he try to reform caste? So his upbringing, both of the persons, their own socialization affected their view on what? Caste. So human beings cannot be separated from what they are. Marx will always say that capitalism is problematic. Feminists will always say that there are problems with respect to family as far as woman is concerned. వాళ్ళ view వాళ్ళకు ఉంటుంది. You cannot separate a sociologist also from his own perspective. Then how can you go for complete objectivity? That is not possible. Even sociologists will be driven by their own values. So మనం ఏదైనా రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు తన sociologist, తన values will impact his research. For example, I asked you to go and study about, let's say, workers in a particular bricklayer industry annav. Each three of you will give different results. Each three of you will go to the bricklayer industry. Each of the three, same bricklayer industry, will observe different things. Come. Which class? No. Yeah. Each of you will observe things in a different manner because మీ upbringing different ఉంది. మీ socialization different గా ఉంది. మీరు ఏం అబ్జర్వ్ చేయాలో those things also will be different. Complete objectivity is difficult అంటారు. That's the reason when you go back to this concept here, everybody is guided by their own values. Every sociologist will be guided by their own values. Definitely when we are calling, so value freedom is difficult to attain in sociology. That's what they say. But solution enti? Every person is guided by their own values, observations, socialization, upbringing. That's the reason Weber talks about what? Value neutrality. You tell in advance what are your values. You tell that I am a Marxist. I am going to study bricklayer industry. You tell that I am a feminist. I am going to study bricklayer industry. మీ వ్యూ ఏంటో ముందే చెప్పండి. మీ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఏంటో you tell in advance and follow certain procedures. Then at least we can get some neutral observations or scientific observations అంటాడు. Without knowing the difference of these three, people will write the answers. అందుకే క్వాలిటీ రాదు. Okay. So once you understand the concept, only then we can able to apply the concepts and write proper answers. That is missing in the students' papers now. If you observe, what is the syllabus given for Marx? If you observe Marx syllabus enti? Syllabus open chesi chudandi okkasari. What is the syllabus given under Marx, Karl Marx thinker for us? They talked about enti? Historical materialism. Okay. Then mode of production. Then class struggle. Fourth one is alienation. Okay. We are not going to observe complete Marx now. If question comes on historical materialism, if question comes on mode of production, if question comes on class struggle, of course They are all related. But students are writing the almost same or similar points they are writing in all the questions related to these three. If you observe, there is a kind of data also here. Yeah, see. This is a question on historical materialism. What is historical materialism? What is historical materialism? Let's say, when we are talking about historical materialism, yeah, from primitive communist society to primitive communism to modern or future communist society, how the society evolved under. Then what is mode of production? In mode of production also you have 5 stages. Yes or no? Yeah, that's what. Primitive communism to ancient to tarvata. Primitive communism, ancient tarvata. Feudal. Then capitalistic. Then communist society. 5 stages here. Socialism antadu, but it's okay. Total overall 5 stages. Then what is mode of production? See, it's okay. Every stage is associated with its own technology and all these things. Then what is the difference between historical materialism and mode of production? Same points untai. I have made a student to write these questions in historical. This is a question on historical materialism. She explained all the 5 stages. Socialism she wrote separately. But if you observe here, there is development. History will develop like that. But when you are talking about mode of production also, in the context of mode of production, if a question comes, here also same as previous answer. She talks about same thing in the context of mode of production. Okay, then difference enti? When we are talking about, interpretation lo koncham wrong chupicharu, with respect to historical materialism, you have to explain that in the context of this topic, you have to explain that for Marx, everything is guided by economy, materialism. Everything is guided by what? Economy. Everything else, whether it is religion, education, family, is guided by economy. This is base structure. This is superstructure. Now the question is, how did Marx say this? Marx comes, afternoon he got up and he said that everything is guided by economy. Will you agree? He has to prove. He has to give the arguments. Those arguments you have to write in this answer. How did Marx come to this conclusion that economy is the base structure? Rather than, otherwise, what will happen? These things will happen. In mode of production, she wrote base structure and superstructure. First question, mode of production. First question, historical materialism. Second question, mode of production. In mode of production, she wrote about what? Base structure and superstructure, which is wrong. Interchange అయిపోతాయి, confuse అయిపోతారు, clarity ఉండదు. Okay, then coming back to mode of production. When we are talking about mode of production, here you will talk about each mode of production is guided by its own relationship of production and factors of production. There, on how in each stage it changed. That is important to explain. Coming to class struggle, when we are talking about class struggle, what is class struggle? Class struggle ante enti? Class struggle ante enti? Struggle in my classroom. Is it class struggle? What is class struggle? Cheppandi varledu? That's what I want. He says that in every stage. This is a mistake I am waiting. So my dear friend, every stage, if you observe, primitive communism. That is the first stage. Tarvata evaru vastaru? Masters, slaves. Tarvata? Lords, then serfs. Owners, capitalists, and workers. This is what it is. So when we are talking about these two dimensions here, then comes communist society. Right? So when we are talking about this stage, you are saying that masters and slaves, they will fight. Adena class struggle? Class struggle means what? Every stage, masters are exploiting slaves. Lords are exploiting serfs. Capitalists are exploiting workers. So is it this struggle you are talking about, class struggle? Then, you can talk in Telugu also if you are. Enti, class struggle ante enti mari? What is class struggle? When we are referring to this dimension here. Inequality? Yes, there is inequality. There is inequality here. There is inequality here. There is inequality here. Then what is class struggle? That's fine. That is there in all. Then what is class struggle? Class struggle ante enti? That's what we have to. Workers fighting with the capitalists, that is class struggle. My question is, if workers are fighting with the capitalists, fine. Serfs also should fight with lords because they are also exploited by same scenario. Slaves are to be fighting with masters. This will not happen. This will not happen. Only this will happen. Workers will fight with capitalists. Serfs will not fight with lords. Slaves will not fight with masters. Why? There is exploitation here. There is inequality here. There is slavery. Slavery is much more dangerous than, yes or no? No freedom for serf. He stays like that forever on the same patch of land. Worker will go from one office to another office at least. But workers will fight with capitalists. Serfs will not fight with lords. Slaves will not fight with masters. Question, why? Need not be. It need not be always petty bourgeois who give. So you mean to say that there are no in-between fellows here? There were jamindars here. Right. So no class struggle here. Conclusion is there is class struggle here, but no class struggle in these two stages. Ante kada? So can I say the statement that class struggle will only be present in capitalist society? Class struggle is only a phenomena of capitalist society. Are you going to say that? Mari etla? Chudandi, gap chudandi. That's what I want to observe. See, you are studying many things. Information is not a problem now. But the problem is understanding those things in a clear manner. Because question will come in different ways. Sometimes you will hit, sometimes you will not. Randomness ekkuvayipotundi. What he says is actual it's not me who is saying. You have to understand what Marx said. Marx said that here slaves are exploited, but slaves does not have a choice. Whether he should eat food, whether he should sleep, everything is guided by master. Every slave is individual. He does not have a choice. He is bearing the exploitation. Okay. But here, these masters, how the change will happen? These masters are replaced by new feudal lords. There is a class struggle between these two. Feudal lords will come, they will kick out whom? Masters. వీళ్ళు వచ్చి వీళ్ళని రీప్లేస్ చేస్తారు. Slaves will become what? Serfs. Similarly here, serfs are exploited, but serfs have no choice. Here also, new capitalists, they will fight with whom? Lords. French Revolution is a classic example of this. French Revolution lo, the emerging merchant class, capitalists, they fought with the feudal lords and they became dominant. So there is, again, to draw this, to look at it in a clear manner, there is class struggle here between these two. There is class struggle between these two. But only in capitalist society, class struggle will happen between these two. That's the reason Marx says this is end of history. Something happened here where workers became true class conscious. Pauperization, polarization, homogenization, all those things will happen only in capitalist society. Some are knowing the concept but still unable to answer. Some are not knowing the concept, still unable to answer. Ultimately మనకు కావాల్సిన అవుట్పుట్ అనేది రావట్లేదు, గ్యాప్ ఉంది కాబట్టి. అదర్వైజ్ వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్, వర్కర్స్ ఇలాగే ఉంటారు. క్యాపిటలిస్ట్ బదులు ఇంకొకరు వస్తాడు. హిస్టరీ ఈస్ కంటిన్యూయింగ్ రైట్. మాస్టర్స్ వచ్చారు, స్లేవ్స్ తర్వాత లార్డ్స్ వచ్చారు, క్యాపిటలిస్ట్ వచ్చారు, తర్వాత సమ్ అదర్ పర్సన్ విల్ కమ్, థింగ్స్ విల్ కంటిన్యూ. But only in capitalist society, the class struggle will happen between lower class and ownership class, non-ownership class and ownership class. అందుకే ఇంకా చేంజ్ ఉండదు, కమ్యూనిస్ట్ సొసైటీ విల్ బి క్రియేటెడ్ అంటాడు. ఇఫ్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ దిస్ కాన్సెప్ట్ క్లియర్లీ, ఇంకా క్వశ్చన్ ఎలా అడిగినా ఈజ్ క్లాస్ స్ట్రగుల్ ఓన్లీ కన్ఫైన్డ్ టు క్యాపిటలిస్ట్ సొసైటీ అంటే విల్ యూ అగ్రీ? ఎస్, నో, ఇట్ ఈస్ కన్ఫైన్డ్ బిట్వీన్ వర్కర్స్ అండ్ క్యాపిటల్స్, బట్ దెర్ ఈస్ క్లాస్ స్ట్రగుల్ హియర్. There is class struggle here. Inko question, once you understand the concept, another way of question, Marx hates capitalism, yes or no? Everybody knows that Marx hates capitalism. Now, in spite of so much of hate, Marx hates capitalism or criticizes capitalism. In spite of this criticism, Marx wants development of capitalism. If this statement comes, elaborate. Can you explain? Marx hates, in spite of Marx being a severe critic of what? Capitalism. Marx wants the development of what? Capitalism. But capitalism ante chaala ishtam ledhu asalu. But he wants the development of capitalism. Elaborate ante em rastaru? Because same concept. Only in capitalism the exploitation is so high, workers became true class conscious and they were able to revolt against the capitalist system. మొత్తం చేంజ్ అయ్యి కమ్యూనిజం వచ్చింది. కమ్యూనిజం రావాలి అంటే you need to have capitalism. Otherwise the same thing will continue. Masters, lords, some other persons will come, some other persons will come, things will continue. Because of capitalism only, change, exploitation peaked, alienation peaked, class consciousness came, class conflict happened, resulting into which society? Communist society. చూడండి, చిన్న కాన్సెప్ట్. If you understand, whole picture, clarity emerges. That is missing. We are just going by hatting the notes. Most of us are referring to the same notes, one or two notes which is available in the market. We are writing the same answers. How the marks will come? The beauty of sociology is once you understand these concepts, forget till January you read, understand these concepts. From February you go for prelims preparation. In spite of that, if you remember these concepts very quickly, you can revise post prelims. So the strategy is, when we are trying to understand sociology, the better strategy is with respect to this sociology topic is there are certain core areas like 1, 2, 3 is one set. 4th chapter thinkers is one set. 5 to 10 this is one set. Previously they used to ask lot of marks from chapter 4. Now they are not asking directly. They are asking more questions from chapter 1, 2, 3. What is sociology? Why new subject? Why did sociology emerge in 18th century Europe? అసలు కొత్త సబ్జెక్ట్ ఎందుకు క్రియేట్ అయింది చెప్పండి. Let us look at a question. Try to do a question here when we are talking about this topic here. Yeah. Sociology. Take this question. Sociology emerged as a byproduct of intellectual churning of European society. Analyze. Okay. So you need to understand different dimensions like why sociology emerged. It's a very new subject. We all know that sociology is one of the youngest subject. It came out of 18th century, 19th century European modernity. Now the question is, why new subject? And another way of putting it is, It is a byproduct of intellectual churning in European society. Basically, the question is asking about intellectual background of emergence of sociology. Take a minute and try to make a structure of this question. Structure of this question. What should be the key points under this question? Byproduct of intellectual churning or intellectual background of emergence of sociology. Try. What will you tell? Try to make a structure of it. Cheppandi. Chudam. Why did sociology emerge? Intellectual background adigadu. For emergence of our subject of sociology. Bolo. You are talking about what? Your answer is you are talking about industrial revolution. Okay, then TK, new classes came. TK, fine. So, inka? Changes in social life. Okay, continue. Why new subject? Industrial revolution is studied by economy. It will also studied by polity, political science. Why new sociology? It's okay, let it be. ఇంతకుముందు ఎప్పుడు లేవా మైగ్రేషన్ అనేది ఇంతకుముందు లేదా? ఇట్స్ వాజ్ ఆల్సో దేర్. హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్స్ ఆర్ ఆల్వేస్ మైగ్రేటింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద పాస్ట్ సొసైటీస్ ఆల్సో. ఎందుకు వచ్చింది? ఇంటలెక్చువల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఏంటి? ఫ్రెంచ్ ఇంట్రడ్యూషన్, సైంటిఫిక్ టెంపర్మెంట్ ఇంక్రీజ్డ్. ఎస్, online student, you are trying to, your point is French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, all these things are happening. You are talking about social changes. There were social changes happening in European society. Fine. But these social changes, are they new to society? Social changes were always there. There are certain dark ages where there is no much change. But society is continuously changing. In India also, 6th century BC, change was there. Buddhism, Jainism emerged. Many social changes happened. Society is continuously changing. Why so much of importance on changes made to Industrial Revolution and French Revolution? Because of IR and FR, did sociology emerge? They are studied by polity also. They are studied by economy also. Why new subject of sociology then? French Revolution is studied by history. Industrial Revolution is also studied by history. Your world history has the syllabus in GS1. Why new subject? History studies social, cultural, economic and all changes also. Then why new subject? Rani, let it be. Aristotle is there long back. Plato was there long ago. We were always, there were intellectuals. Got it? Chudandi, anta gap undo. With respect to understanding of the subject, when we are talking these things here, actual thing which happened was many changes. Renaissance, cultural revolution or commercial revolution, industrial revolution, French Revolution, all these channels, enlightenment, before that you have enlightenment period. So when the question is about intellectual background of sociology, you need to focus not on IR and FR. You need to focus on what? Enlightenment period. There are many thinkers who are praising these changes. They are talking about progress. Humanity is progressing. Human being became center. Okay, you are questioning religion. You are questioning many things. Science is developing. Many changes are happening in the society. Fine. Democracy got established. French Revolution. New markets. New lifestyle. New classes. Human beings are generating lot of wealth. Many discoveries they are doing. Wow, what a society. What a kind of progress we are talking about. Then many thoughts. Rousseau, Voltaire, Montesquieu. All these thinkers are praising the changes happening in the society. They are called as what? Which thinkers? Enlightenment thinkers. These set of thinkers. But at the same time, there are other set of thinkers called counter-enlightenment thinkers. These counter-enlightenment thinkers are criticizing the changes. They are severely criticizing the same social changes or criticizing the same society. So much change is happening, no stability, people are not following norms, poverty intensified, crime rates are high, pollution is increasing. Same society, enlightenment thinkers, they are praising. Counter enlightenment thinkers, they are criticizing. Then what is reality? Okay, debate emundi, one form of debate praising the things. Same society, other set of people criticizing. Then what is reality? In the background, you have development of various sciences, development of positivism. So with this debate, same thing studied in two different perspectives. Then what is reality? To know the reality, we need to study society scientifically. Dani need ochindi. So to study society scientifically, new subject created, which is called as what? Sociology. So everybody in this answer, let's like say, if you look at this answer here, people will talk about Renaissance. Student. Question, they start about what? Renaissance. They started long back. Then modernization, industrial revolution, capitalism, French revolution, political revolution, all these things they will tell. But how did sociology emerge because of these things? People will not write properly. Demand of the question enti, why did sociology emerge? Daniki intellectual background edi annadu. So you have to write about enlightenment thinkers and counter enlightenment thinkers. What are the historic, if a question comes like this, same topic lo, if a question comes like this, what are the historical antecedents with respect to emergence of sociology? If question comes like this, then you have to list out. Directly start from Renaissance, commercial revolution, okay, enlightenment, industrial, French revolution, industrial revolution. Atla debate this karavali. Marks vastayi. Nothing is completely wrong in sociology. For this question also, for this answer also, you will get marks, 3 marks. Because nothing is completely wrong in our subject. Interpretations maartu untayi kabatti. But actual crux when you write, then only the examiner will give 6 marks out of 10. Above 50% they will try to give. Okay. So there are many such. In fact, many of the students, they have written various things. Initially they will do all mistakes they will do. Once conceptual clarity emerges, then practice happens, then things will slowly change. Okay, this is the right time to do it, because when we are talking about sociology or any optional, from February to June, you will not do optional, or May ending, you will not go for optional. From June, you don't have even 3 months is also not there. Nowadays dates are there. Post prelims, there is only time for what? Revision. Whether it is GS or optional. So most of the optional work has to be done before February or at the end of Jan. Maximum. How you have to do? It's not about remembering the things. If you solve certain questions and if you go by our group of theme based, if you go 60% to 70% of the paper, you have to have written answers before the exam, before prelims. For example, look at the sociology there. 60% of the paper will come from last 10 years. That is the beauty of our subject. 60% of the question paper you will have from the 10 years, not cut, copy, paste. Same theme they will ask. Not only that, they are mentioning on certain key areas. Only these key areas are coming again and again. If you observe, let's say, let us take this year paper. 2025 paper 1 is this. Open the syllabus. Syllabus is also there with mentorship schedule also it is there. Yeah. Study the first question. What is common sense? In the syllabus, we have listed out common sense as a emergence of sociology, scope of the subject, comparison, sociology and common sense. They took common sense. This is actual syllabus. In the schedule, I have just taken the actual words from the examination syllabus. So they have given a topic, sociology and common sense. Look at the question now. When we are looking at the question, they are just asking what is common sense. How common sense and sociology are related to each other. Directly from the keyword they have asked. Then look at the next question here. When we are looking at the, what is the relation? Second question is, what is the relation between sociology and history? If you go to the syllabus, they have talked about relationship between sociology and other social sciences. Other social sciences means we do history, economy, polity, anthro, psychology, other things. So standard. They have asked direct question. Okay, go to the third question. If you look at the next set of questions here, what is variable? They asked a question on what is variable. Go to chapter 3. In the context of chapter 3, if you observe the syllabus here, methods and all those things, they are talking about variables. In the syllabus, they mentioned variables. Question they asked, what is variable? How it is its role in sociological research? Okay. Then go to the next question. What is positivism? Critically analyze. Critically analyze major arguments in it. If you go to the syllabus chapter 2, they have directly mentioned about what? Positivism and its critique. They asked what is positivism, critically analyze. Inta direct questions untaya ఏ ఆప్షన్ లో అయినా సిలబస్ మీదే కీవర్డ్స్ తో అడుగుతున్నాడు. ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద క్లారిటీ ఉంటే కేస్ క్లోజ్డ్. Okay, then this is 2025 paper we are talking about. We don't analyze. The problem is we don't do this analysis in June. We do it after the exam. Next question. What is hypothesis? Again in the same syllabus, if you observe variables, where is it? Yeah. Same. Variables, sampling, hypothesis. He asked what is hypothesis. Okay, then go to the next question here. This is not test series question paper. This is direct 2025 question paper. What is the, in what way scope of sociology is unique? If you go to chapter 1 and 2, you will have in the context of scope of the subject. Scope of the subject. They asked what is the scope of sociology. Right? Then we'll go to the next question. All the questions I am marking from certain things. What is science? What is science? My second unit enti sociology, science. With respect to the paper also, direct ga keywords chudandi in the context of sociology as science. How sociology is linked as a scientific subject. Aipen, case closed. Then you have another set of questions if you see. Yeah. These things are there. In what way scope of subject is unique? What is science use? Ninth question చూద్దాం. What is sampling? What is sampling in the context of sociological research? Discuss different forms of sampling. If you go to the syllabus, where is sampling here? Directly they have mentioned variables, sampling, hypothesis. Again in unit 3. They are asking the keywords. Very interestingly, I have shown you 9 questions. Till now, I have shown you how many questions to you? 9 questions I have shown. All these 9 questions, if you count the marks, some of them are 20 marks also. All these 9 questions came from chapter 1, 2, 3. Only from chapter 1, 2, 3, in 2025 paper, they have asked 120 marks. Not only this year, last 2 years also, they are asking 8 questions. In these 8 questions, some will be 10 marker, some will be 20 marker. So minimum 80, one question anukunna 80 to 100, 110, 120 marks untai. Last 2-3 years lo kuda. Only they are asking on the keywords, application and all these things. Not only 1 to 3, marks questions also, unit 4 also. Just like I showed you different ways in which students are committing mistakes. ఇదే మిస్టేక్స్ని అవాయిడ్ చేస్తే వెరీ ఈజీలీ వీ క్యాన్ స్కోర్ ద రిక్వైర్డ్ 260, 270 minimum. Then if not that, you will not get a good service. Don't aim for 300 or 350. Those things are gone. 270, 280, score well in optional and GS. If you keep the effort, easily you will become the top ranker. Because to keep an effort from 270 to 300, lot of effort is required. The same effort if you keep it in GS, each paper 10 marks you increase, 50 marks difference you will get. Strategy maral. Don't go by toppers who say optional is everything. Nonsense. How it can be everything? Optional is important, no doubt. How can you say that optional is everything? Optional has its own role. మీరు 270 టార్గెట్ చేయాలి ఆప్షనల్లో, మిగతా effort you have to keep it on GS subjects. That's what I am saying. To get 270, if you go it in the conceptual manner, you can achieve in sociology. But from 270, if you are aiming for 300, 310, it requires a lot of effort. You have to study MA, all this technical jargon you have to keep. Ante effort, if you keep on all the 5 papers, you can easily increase. Bounce అయిపోతారు. It's a very wrong strategy. You have to go for 270, 280, no doubt about it. Beyond 280 కూడా మార్క్స్ వస్తాయి, but that requires a lot of effort. In 3 months, 2.5 months, you don't have that time. ఆ effort ni you have to channelize towards GS, where easily you can push the marks in GS. That is the main orientation you should have. The challenge or the beauty of sociology as we discussed it till now is, if you are clear on certain basic concepts, getting 270 will become practical. Conceptual understanding unte direct ga velli meer rasina 230 వస్తాయి. Just now we have seen what is variable, what is subject of sociology, positivism and cricket. సిలబస్ మీదే అడుగుతున్నాడు క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని. ఏమైనా ఇన్నోవేషన్ చేస్తున్నాడా? చేస్తాడు, కొన్ని 2-3 క్వశ్చన్స్లో ఇన్నోవేషన్ చేస్తాడు. డైరెక్ట్లీ దే ఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద సిలబస్ కీవర్డ్. మీ బేసిక్ తెలిస్తే యూ క్యాన్ డైరెక్ట్లీ యూ క్యాన్ గెట్ 230, 240 by just understanding the concepts. But is our goal 240? No, we have to aim for what? 270, 280. Daniki you have to do the answer writing practice. Anyway, to close this small session, we have started we have around 120 days of schedule. Every day we'll have a live answer writing session. Dates to part fix అవుతాయి. Maybe in 1 week we will start this mentorship program. Wherever you are reading notes, telegram channels, you have your own way of preparing for optional. So we'll start with day 1. Each topic I have divided. So every 5 days we will have what? Live answer writing sessions. Maybe in the evening. Most of the times it will be in the evening, so that in the morning, daily kabatti morning you prepare and you balance with GS also. So this syllabus will be given in advance to you. You prepare, suppose let's say on modernity and social changes. That is day 1. You prepare all the topics which you can on that. I will give 2 questions directly in the live session, Zoom, online. You will write the answers, upload it that day itself. I will look at them. I'm not saying that I will correct everyday answer, but I will look at your overall performance, because it is one-to-one mentorship. I will discuss those 2 questions in the live session. A topic kuda brief ga discuss chesi how answer should be given, and answer key also will be given to you. Then after 5 days you will have 1 day for revision of all these 5 days. Otherwise, without revision, what will happen? Every day you go on reading something, some material you will read, write something, collect the answer key, keep it under the bed. So you have to revise on Saturday, you have to revise all the 5 things, and Sunday you have a sectional test on all the 5-day syllabus. Sectional test will be 150 marks. 3 questions untai. 1 question in the exam carries how many marks? 50, 20, 20, 10, or 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. One first question and 5th question. Telusu kada, brief pattern idea undi kada. So like that we will do, and after weekly we will go. After 3 weeks we will give the gap for revision. We will have 1 full length test. Sure. Full length test ante Complete. 3 hours duration. We'll give 1 week break. We'll revise all the last 3 weeks. You have to go for a full length test. The same cycle will go on for 4 months. October first week lo start cheste January ending ki ante in between we have breaks. So we'll have total syllabus coverage in the 120-day plan. October 1st నుంచి మనం స్టార్ట్ ఫస్ట్ వీక్ అనుకోండి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద బ్రీఫ్ ప్లాన్. బికాస్ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ ఐ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ ఎవ్రీ 3 weeks తర్వాత బ్రేక్ ఉంది, అందుకని జాన్కి ఎక్స్టెండ్ అయింది. అదర్వైజ్ వీ క్యాన్ రెడ్యూస్ దట్ ఆల్సో డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ హౌ యూ పెర్ఫార్మ్. ఇట్స్ ఆల్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ హౌ యూ were able to perform in the answers. I will correct all the Sunday papers. Sunday papers, apart from talking with you, all the Sunday tests, sectional test and full length test will be evaluated. Direct ga 1-to-1 matladtanu. But daily test we will only have direct live discussion and I will upload the answers every day. You have to upload me when I am 1-to-1 talking with you. Because for example, let's say every day live session చేస్తున్నాం, 2 answers discuss చేస్తాం. డిస్కస్ చేసిన తర్వాత మీరు కూడా ఆన్సర్స్ రాస్తారు కదా. యూ విల్ ఆల్సో రైట్ దోస్ ఆన్సర్స్. యూ అప్లోడ్ ద సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ. సండే యూ విల్ రైట్ ఎ సెక్షనల్ టెస్ట్. ద సెక్షనల్ టెస్ట్ ఐ విల్ ఎవాల్యుయేట్ అండ్ ఐ విల్ టాక్ విత్ యూ. వెన్ ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ విత్ యూ ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఐ విల్ టాక్ అబౌట్ ఇక్కడ జరిగిన మిస్టేక్స్ కూడా అవాయిడ్ చేయాలి. బికాస్ డిస్కషన్లో మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద మిస్టేక్స్ కవర్ చేస్తాం. ఇంకేదైనా స్పెసిఫిక్ ఇష్యూ ఉంటే దట్ ఆల్సో క్యాన్ బి హైలైట్. ఓకే, so this is the overall plan approach. Apart from writing answers, general mistakes and all these things, what are your requirements? It's okay, forget about the recording now. What are your problems as an individual? Sociology lo me problems enti cheppandi. Let's start with each of you. Oh, you are struggling with the notes. Classes, where you are doing with the classes, chesara or own ga chaduvutunnara చూద్దాం. let me note down these things for you. You have an issue with notes making. Bolo, what is the problem of notes making? Whatever class you are doing, they will give the material. Own notes short అవ్వట్లేదు. ఇంకా tell the list out the problems, then I will address them. చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి. That is a problem of this modern times. Information overload is happening. Okay, which topper you have to follow? Each topper has written notes in their own way. Notes making. Classes ekkada chestunnaru? Chesesara? Ekkada chesaru? Okay, classes are done this year or last year? Okay, class notes leda mari? Undi. Then class notes is not comprehensive. You are feeling a difficulty. Other than that, no, undaguddu. You are talking about thinkers and their quotes matladtanu. Next, inka what problems you have? Your problem. Let him. Yeah, how to prepare for these things. Okay, then inka current affairs antunnaru meeru. Next, upde ai. Okay, you are talking about interlinking of these things. Okay, online student, any problem, specific problem you have? Any specific problem which you have? Some messages are coming. Just a minute. What to study? See, that is the common problem when we are talking about. If you are looking at the problems here, most of you are struggling with respect to what to study. There is lot of information overload. What to study, what you are reading, how far that is suitable for the demand of the examination. That is the first step. This is not the final problem. Actual problem will start from here. So you take the standard source. Generally whatever classes you have attended, IGNOU is very, very important. Briefly refer IGNOU or market whatever book is there. 1 or 2 sources, any source. Take 1 or 2 sources and get to conceptual clarity. Don't go beyond, run about for each topic. Don't prepare like GS. GS is something where you put one topic, child trafficking, collect lot of information, dump. That is not the case with optional. You understand with respect to, let's say, A.R. Desai, he talks about social background of Indian nationalism. how he has used Marxist approach. Okay, what are its criticism? What is his main role? How he studied nationalism? And what is his approach on Indian society? That's it. That you will get in almost all. Combine 1-2 sources, you will get that. You identify the important dimensions in each area. When we are doing the classes, when we are looking at the questions, when we are doing our daily test series practice and PYQs, you will know where you have to focus upon. Okay, don't prepare short notes. The problem is, don't become a clerk. You study, you have whatever class notes you have, whatever material you have to study them 4 to 5 times. Then you have to do PYQs, then our daily test, whatever we are doing. Consolidating all these things, you have to prepare short notes. This will be final. First learn what you are doing. Chapter 1, 2, 3, you studied. Consolidate it. Read 4 to 5 times. Look at the PYQs. Look at the various test questions. Then crux, that should be final short notes. Short notes is beautiful. It should be very short. Only keywords you should have. That will come later. Our revision time lo ade cheyali meeru. Okay. So that should be the focus. Current affairs. See, with respect to current affairs, paper 2 has a big role. Paper 1 lo kuda limited ga you can use the examples. కానీ ఇక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే అసలు కాన్సెప్ట్ క్లారిటీ లేదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు సోషల్ యాక్షన్లో ఏం కరెంట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రాస్తారు మీరు? థింకర్ చెప్పాడు. హిస్టారికల్ మెటలిజంలో ఏం కరెంట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రాస్తారు? రాయొచ్చు. బై ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్ ఆల్ ద థింగ్స్, ఇన్ ద ఎండ్ యూ క్యాన్ అప్లై ఇండియన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. రిలీజియన్ కాజింగ్ సోషల్ చేంజ్, యూ క్యాన్. ఇప్పుడు కరెంట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కాదు అక్కడ. డోంట్ బి ఓవర్లోడెడ్ బై దిస్ థింగ్స్. ఫస్ట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ క్లారిటీ ఉండాలి. తర్వాత పేపర్ 2 ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ పేపర్ 1లో రాయాలి. పేపర్ 2లో పేపర్ 1 థింకర్స్ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. Generally, another problem with the students face is either they overload with the thinkers. Every question they start with the thinker, end with the thinker. Many thinkers they dump, which is wrong. Demand of the question but untundi. Another set of group people, they go for journalistic answers. The thinkers gurinchi pattichukoru. Ila undakoodu. There should be what? Proper balance. Sociology is not only about what? Thinkers. That's the reason they are shifting. Everybody reading only thinkers. 1 to 3 question chapters nunchi 100 plus marks. That's not a big small change. You have to understand. Order adigaru. First understand unit 1, 2. 3 you can skip if you want. Koncham methods untayi kabatti dry ga anipiste 3 you can skip. Understand 1, 2, then start with Durkheim, because unit 2 talks about science. Sociology as a science. Durkheim started with positivism. So complete 1, 2, then go to Durkheim, then go for Weber, then go for Marx. Leda, you can, it's okay. Durkheim, Marx, Weber, that's also fine, doesn't matter. But think science tarvata you start with whom? Durkheim. Once you complete thinkers, then obviously you will go for 5 to 10. Don't go directly 5 to 10. థింకర్స్ అర్థం కాకుండా ఇవి ప్రాపర్గా అప్లికేషన్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ థింకర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఇన్ చాప్టర్ 5 to 10. పేపర్ 2 అయితే ఇంకా సింప్లిస్టిక్గా ఉంటుంది, రైట్? సో ఇన్ దిస్ మేనర్ యూ ట్రై టు గివ్ ద థింగ్స్ హియర్, వాట్ ఎవర్ మే బి ద కేస్. ఫస్ట్ 1 week whenever we start the program, you attend the sessions, then you will get better clarity. Okay, so that is the case which we have to understand. Give your names in the office, then they will inform when we are starting the classes. Okay, fine. Online students also will follow up. Okay, then when we start, then you'll get better clarity. Let's work out for at least 3 months, then you'll get good confidence in sociology. Okay, chalo.